everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm getting back into the whole booktube and filming and editing and making a schedule and stuff. So I pretty much came in and sat in my library and was like, where do I start? Because it's been so long that I can't really just like get caught up on wrap-ups or something. So I pretty much just stared at all my books and was like, what should I film? A haul, because A, those are easy to film and I love filming them because you guys like them and it's gonna get me back into the rhythm. So yes, this is gonna be a doozy, but keep in mind this is also an accumulation of whenever I filmed my last haul, which was probably February-ish, up until now. So this is many, many months worth of book buying, and for me, this is not terrible. Also, I think that I might be missing some. I pretty much was just trying to look at my shelves and figure out what I have hauled for you guys, so I might be missing things, or you might have seen these hauled before. If that's the case, I apologize, but I'm gonna get into it. These are gonna be in no particular order whatsoever because I have no idea what order I bought things in, or when they were released, or when they came, so I'm just gonna go. Here we go. So I'm gonna start stuff off with a bang with these. This came out while I took a hiatus from BookTube, and I got 3 versions of it. Why? I don't know. No, I do, because I have a problem. But, I pretty much... Okay, here's the story. I ordered just like the basic plain Jane version. I pre-ordered this off of Amazon so that I could get the pre-order perk, because you better believe that I wanted any sort of extra stuff that came with this release. I love the series so much, I need all of it. So that came with this, which is a full color poster of the map of Prithian, which is just so dang gorgeous, and I had to have it. So I pre-ordered it to get it. Then Target always does an exclusive version, so I went to Target to pick up this copy, which has a little book plate thing on the end page, and it also has a letter from the author. So that's pretty cool. And then Books A Million happens to be very close to by Target, and while Books A Million doesn't do exclusive covers, they generally get the Barnes & Noble exclusive versions, so I just stopped in there just to see if they had it. And they did. Look at that little sticker. I was so excited. And this is the version that I wanted the most because it has fan art on the end pages, which I'm not usually a huge fan of just because I like my own like mental image of the characters, but I mean, that's by Charlie Bowater, so I had to have it. Also, on the back pages, just look at it. Just, yes. So that happened. I know. And while I'm on the track of exclusive fancy pants versions of books, I got this. This is the 20th anniversary re-release of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Okay, I had to have this because when they showed us that they were going to do house exclusive versions of this book, I was like, I need the Ravenclaw one because they showed us these. The pages have your house colors on them, and I needed it so badly. They came with all 4 of the houses. I got the Ravenclaw because hello, I'm a Ravenclaw. That was all we knew when we pre-ordered it. Had I known how amazing these are and how much extra content there was, I would have ordered all of them. I still might because they're still available, but I don't know if they're going to do the rest of the series like this, and if that's the case, I don't need 4 versions of all 7 books, but I want them. But there is also exclusive Ravenclaw content at the beginning. It's pretty much welcoming you into Ravenclaw, giving you facts about like the founders, the ghosts, famous Ravenclaw wizards. It's just amazing. And then in the back, there's like a letter from J.K. Rowling, and there's just trivia and little factoids. It's amazing. And it's just so stinking cute. I believe this is only available in the UK. If you're looking for a copy, look on Book Depository. I just needed it so bad, so I got this. Okay, moving on. I got a copy of Hunted by Megan Spooner. I believe this came in an uppercase box. Megan Spooner is one of the authors of These Broken Stars, I believe, which I loved. I love the writing in that. It just took me by surprise, so I'm pretty excited to have another book by her, and this is very shiny. But this is I believe, a high fantasy retelling of Beauty and the Beast, which I am all about. The next book I got is thanks to Erin, my friend in Ireland, who recommended this to me because I otherwise would have never heard of this probably or picked it up, and that is A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Bernard. This book is adorable, and I talk about a lot of books about mental illness on my channel, especially ones that focus on anxiety, because I have anxiety. this is the realest representation of social anxiety that I've ever read. Like, it is like to a T the thought process that goes through your head when you get stuck in like anxiety cycles. It's amazing. It's about a girl who has selective mutism based off of her anxiety, and she is in school, and a boy transfers there who is deaf. So she speaks sign language because she doesn't talk. He speaks sign language. An adorable relationship ensues. It's just so good, guys. Get your hands on a copy of this book. It's so good. Also placed a lot of book outlet orders in my absence. That still happened. I just didn't do unboxing, so this is going to be somewhat of, not necessarily an unboxing, but these are books that I got. Also, this is the first time that I've ever been disappointed in Book Outlet. I know a lot of people have a lot to complain about them, but I've never had an issue with them. Even with scratch and dent books, they've always been in perfect condition. So I ordered a copy of Alive by Scott Sigler because I love this book. I raved about this book last year on my channel. And I got a copy of A Light by Scott Sigler, which is a sequel to this. And both of these were supposed to be the UK cover version, and this one came with the US cover, which is not the end of the world, but I kind of really wanted the UK covers because I hadn't seen them before, and they're awesome. So I think I'm going to be on the hunt for the third one and the first one in the UK cover. Now, I picked up a bunch of sequels. Some of these were new releases this year, and some I found on Book Outlet, but I have a bunch of sequels to show you of books that I have already read and loved and wanted the continuation of. So I have a copy of Rise of Fire by Sophie Jordan. This is a sequel to Reign of Shadows, which is adorable. They're just really cute, really fast-paced, fantasy, and it reminds me of Rapunzel, kind of, but I just adore these covers. I adore this series, duology. I think it's only a duology. So I picked up this. I also got a copy of Starfall by Melissa Landers. This is the sequel to Starflight, which is a book that I read last year. I think it came in a subscription box. I don't remember which one. But I read it and I loved it. It's not amazing, guys, but it reminded me so much of Firefly. Like, the cast of characters is just so fun to read, so I just really wanted to get the next one in the series just to keep following those characters. So I got this, and it matches. Finally got a copy of Unleashed by Sophie Jordan. Again, I like Sophie Jordan, but this is a duology of hers that I haven't read yet. It's about a girl who I believe is born with a gene, that I believe gives you the possibility of being a serial killer. So obviously there's gonna be some drama in this, but it just looks so good. It has a lot to do with genetics, which is interesting to me. So I picked this up. I also got a copy of Swarm by Scott Westerfeld. This is a sequel to Zeros, which I think I was one of the very few people in the world who really like Zeros. It's like a YA superhero X-Men-ish type book, and I loved it. I love Scott Westerfeld, but I'm nervous about this because the few friends that I have that also really like Zeros were highly disappointed in the sequel. So we'll see. I don't know. I have it. It's not high on my TBR, but I'll get to it eventually, and at least it'll sit on my shelf and match for now. I also finally picked up a copy of Morning Star. I recently just read Golden Sun, but Morning Star finally came out in paperback, so I finally got a copy of that because that's the version that I have the first two in. I picked up a copy of Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith. And by picked up, I mean I got this in a subscription box. I think it was uppercase. This, I believe, is a contemporary about a girl and a guy who have grown up being best friends their entire lives, and I think one of them starts to have feelings for the other. It's gonna sound like a typical YA contemporary, but on the guy's 18th birthday, he gets a lottery ticket and he wins, like a crap ton of money, like millions of dollars. So I'm sure that's going to throw a wrench into their relationship and relationships with their families and just life in general. So I'm pretty excited about this. I've heard really good reviews about it. Like, for a YA contemporary, this has gotten a lot of 5 stars. I finally got a copy of The Reader, which, if you guys watched my channel last year, you know that I was obsessed with this book, and Book Outlet finally had it, and I snatched it up immediately. But I just adore this book. Like, Tracy Chee is just such a good writer, guys. Just read this book. It's beautiful. I have a copy of The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. She wrote Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. Oh man, her titles are like mouthfuls. Like, I know that I talk fast, but that was a lot of words. Her books are so stinking cute. I love Simon, and I loved that book last year. She just is really good at writing very easy, delicious contemporary. With queer elements. So I believe this is going to have some queer elements in it as well, and I'm just very excited to have this. I believe I got it in an uppercase or an Owlcrate. An Owlcrate, because I have a lot of swag with it. So I'm very excited to read this. I I have some ARCs that are very old ARCs that friends of mine just had and they were clearing off their shelves and offered to me. But these are very old, as in like the books have been released a long time ago. So I just wanted a version of them, but I got a copy of Freaks by Amanda Hawking. I got this from Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. I know it's been like eternity since this came to me, but I just wanted to thank you publicly, but I'm very excited for this. This is something to do with a carnival, obviously. Anything with a circus vibe or a carnival vibe, I am all about. And this came out in January, so it's been out for quite some time. Yeah, gotta read this. I also have an ARC of Carve the Mark. A friend of mine had this and asked if I wanted it because she wasn't interested in keeping it. Again, this came out in January, so it's been around for a while. But I've already read this. I know there was a lot of controversy surrounding this. I'll probably talk about it in my wrap-up whenever I get around to filming that, but I don't know if I'm going to get into the controversy just because I don't really need that on my channel, but I already read it, so I will talk about it soon. And staying in that vibe of controversial books, I got a copy of The Black Witch by Laurie Forrest. This book is like tenfold the controversy that Carve the Mark had. I have already read it. I don't know if I'm going to review it on my channel, to be completely honest with you guys, because there are literally groups of people who just like sit around online waiting for people to review this book and then attacking them. I don't know if I want to bring that hate to my channel or not. I read it, I had opinions, I might talk about it, we'll see. I also have a copy of Outlander, finally. I know, again, I'm like the last person in the world to like have not read the Outlander series. It's just so daunting to me, guys. Like, they're really long books. So I might get into this in the wintertime when I'm back into like heavy fantasy reading mode. Right now, this isn't super appealing for like light and fluffy summertime, but I picked this up at Goodwill for 50 cents. It's just a little mass market version, so it's not gonna like break my heart if I break the spine. That was poetic. But again, it was like 50 cents, so I just picked up a copy of it. While I'm on that same track of books that I am like the last person on earth to read, I finally got a copy of Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, because yes, I also still have not read the Grisha trilogy, and I know you don't have to read that in order to read these, but I want to. So now I have all of that trilogy, and I have all of this duology, just in time for her next book to come out. But I really wanted these because I know that I'm gonna like them, but I really wanted the hardcover versions because of the spines. Everybody's seen the amazing red and black spines, but I just really wanted these versions. Also, I got Crooked Kingdom off of Book Outlet, and it happens to be the Target exclusive version, so it has like the poster on the inside of the dust jacket. That's pretty bitchin', guys, like to get the exclusive version off of Book Outlet. That was awesome. Very pleasant surprise. This is just a really cool sci-fi mech robot type love story. It's set in space between like a human girl who is a soldier in training, and through some massive attack or something, she's left alone and she ends up with a new version of one of the mech humanoid robot people things. I don't know. They fall in love in space. Sounds great. Sounds awesome. I've heard really good stuff about this. Also, look at the cover. That's great. It's a great cover. One of my first pre-orders that I got this year finally came in, and it is Roar by Cora Carmack. This is literally just the dust jacket because I'm currently reading it, but I wanted to show you because I just love the cover. It's just so gorgeous. So far I am loving it. I'm most of the way through it, so I'm probably gonna finish this up in the next day or two. It's great. This is the closest thing to Sarah J. Maas you can get right now. It's pretty darn close, guys. Just as far as how the writing and pacing and kind of world and character development goes, it's very similar. I'm loving it so far. I picked up a copy of Queens of Geek after watching, I think Cece reviewed this, and it just sounded adorable. It's like two love stories between a whole bunch of friends at a con. Like, it says 2 love stories, 1 convention. That just sounds great. Any sort of like nerddom book is gonna like just win me over. I'm so excited to read this. It sounds adorable. I think there are queer elements in it, and I'm just so excited to have this. In last month's Owlcrate, I know this one for sure because they're starting to do exclusive covers, and this is the exclusive cover. So this is an Owlcrate that I don't think that I hauled or unboxed or whatever. But I got Eliza and Her Monsters, and this is by Francesca Zappia. I have been hearing nothing but amazing stuff about this. Like, every person who is reading it right now is just like gushing about it. It just sounds so good. Again, it's a nerdy type book. It's about a girl who I believe has really bad like social skills or anxiety, so she isn't really well liked amongst like all of her classmates and her friends and everything, but she is the author of one of the biggest, I want to say, fan fiction comic series, and I think one of her biggest followers ends up coming to her school, something like that. Either way, it sounds amazing. It's really long, so it'll actually take me longer than like a day to read, so I'm pretty excited about it. Also because there's artwork in it, I believe. Yep, there's definitely artwork in this, so pretty excited to have this. So on a complete whim, because I was in a slump at the time when I ordered these books, I really wanted something that I could just like binge read and just guilty pleasure read my way through a series, because I kind of need that. I generally need like guilty pleasure new adult type books to really get me back into reading, just because they're so easy to read. So I picked up these, the Royal series. It's Paper Princess, Twisted Palace, and Broken Prince. So I picked up all three of these just all at once because it seems like they're the type of books that you can marathon. And I know they're supposed to be kind of like, they're guilty pleasure reads. I know this, but I wanted to get all of them. They were on Amazon for really cheap, so I just picked up the whole series. So, no regrets. Okay, and the last few things, I swear, I know this is gonna be like a half-hour long video. It's gonna be ridiculous. But the last couple things that I have to show you aren't books, but I figured you guys will appreciate it because they're book related, so I'll go through those really fast. So I picked up the A Court of Thorns and Roses and the Throne of Glass coloring books. Will I actually color in these? I don't know. I have a really hard time actually coloring in stuff that are like actual characters or actual people. I really like just the adult coloring books that are like patterns that you can kind of just like use your imagination to fill in the color pattern. I don't know how I feel about coloring them in because I don't want to ruin Reese. We'll see, but I got both of these and I'm very excited just to have them because I know I'm a Sarah J. Maas fangirl. I know. I might as well show you these too because it's the same thing. A lot of you have seen stuff on my Instagram before or possibly in my tour. I don't remember where everything was, but I picked up pillows off of Society 6. I got the Night Court. I just love this design. It's so pretty. I also have a Rattle the Stars one, which I just really like the design. It's just fancy and it kind of goes with my color scheme in my one room, so I got this. While I was there, I also got another one, and it is the Trees Speak Latin from the Raven Cycle, and this was like the one that I wanted the most. Like, I love it. It has like the raven in the background and I needed it in my life. Also, they were running a sale on pillows where it was like buy one get one, so that's how I ended up with 4. Let me show you the 4th one. This is the 4th one. It's gorgeous. I am a huge fan of the whole watercolor art thing. I really want a tattoo with the watercolor scheme. I know that there are issues with that, but I still really like how it looks. This is clearly a Harry Potter one with the Patronus and Expecto Patronum. I just love it. I just love it so much. And the last thing that I got was a super splurge item. I see them all the time on Facebook, all the time on Instagram, and I just want one so bad. And I think on National Book Day or Reading Day or something, they had a huge sale on them, so I ordered this. You're probably like, what is that? That's like a wooden journal thing. You're like, oh yeah, it's wooden. That's cool. It's pretty. It's got a cool spine. Yeah, okay, let me blow your mind. Ah, look at it. It's a lamp. Is that not the coolest thing ever? Ah, look at it. Oh, it's like a book, but it's a lamp. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be an embarrassing video to edit. Either way, one more time, guys. Ah, look at it. Just look at it. Yeah, you're jealous. I know. It's awesome. I've been wanting one of these for so long, mainly for Instagram pictures and just to like show my friends, because I have a lot of book nerd friends where I can just like subtly be like, oh, what are you reading? I'm reading Light. Okay, I'm gonna go now. This is the longest video ever and I have hauled way too many things. Expect a new one in the future because I'm sure there are books that I missed and there are books definitely that are coming because I've placed a lot of orders recently. So I'm gonna go because I'm sick of talking. I've been talking for like 45 minutes now. Hopefully I can edit this down. So I hope you guys are reading some amazing books. If any of you have read any of these and think that they need to be moved up my TBR, let me know because there are a lot that are up there right now. So that's gonna be it. I will see you guys in my next video.